Hi, I'm Daniel with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at and I'm going to show you how to install the Stealth Hitches hidden rack receiver on our 2024 BMW X1. If you're in the market for a hitch for your BMW, maybe you just want to have a bike rack back here, a cargo carrier, or even do some light duty towing, this is a great option because you can actually remove the hitch receiver itself and it brings your vehicle back to its factory look. All you have to do is pull it out and then store it away, and you can't really see anything there. And when you're ready to tow, it's really easy. All you have to do is turn this knob, click it in place, and you're ready to put your accessory in it or do some light duty towing. Now, before you do put your accessory in, make sure you lock it. It does come with keys in the kit, and all you have to do is press down on the locking pin and it's locked in place. Now, you will need a 5/8 inch pin and clip to secure your accessory in this hitch. Now, this doesn't come in the kit, but it usually comes in the box when you get your accessory. Now, I would recommend getting a locking pin just so you have that extra sense of security. Nobody can come and take your accessory. Now I'll get you a couple measurements here. So from the ground to the top of the inside of the hitch receiver, it's gonna be about 13.5. So that's good to know if you have any longer accessories back here, maybe a cargo carrier, and you wanna make sure that doesn't bottom out when you're going up a steep hill. Now the next measurement is from the center of our hitch pin hole to the outside of our bumper. And that's gonna be about 2.5 inches. So that's good to know if you have folding accessories like a bike rack and you wanna make sure that can fold up and not hit your bumper. Now we have a very short measurement, so that's not gonna have an issue. Now our BMW today has a kick sensor to operate the rear hatch. Now a lot of people wonder if with the hitch installed, if that still works, and as you can see, it still does. Now your tongue weight for this hitch is going to be 350 pounds, and that is the weight pushing down on the hitch receiver. Now that's good to know for accessories like cargo carriers and bike racks and knowing how much you can pack those up. Now this hitch in particular is not suitable for towing, but you can get two side plates that go basically where the bolt goes through, and that will make this suitable for towing. And if you do that, which I highly recommend, since you're taking the whole fascia off anyway, might as well, then you can have a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds. Now this hitch is top of the line, so if you're not someone who maybe cares that you see the hitch receiver all the time on your vehicle, we do have options that are just permanently on there. But if you have any questions about what hitch is going to be best for you and your BMW, feel free to reach out to us here at etrailer. Now, as far as install goes, this is pretty in-depth. You are taking your entire rear fascia off, and the BMWs are built really well, so it is very difficult. So if you don't have the time or tools or want to get into that, please feel free to check out our dealer locator. We can find a professional in your area to get this installed for you. But if you're looking to tackle it yourself, follow along and I'll walk you through the process. First off, we got the hatch open and we need to remove this plastic cover so we can get to some hardware underneath. We do have a plastic trim tool, which I would recommend getting to make this a little easier. And there's going to be a rivet. It's just a plastic rivet up here. I'm gonna get behind this and pry out and get this to come out. And once that's out, we can just take this away and set it to the side. We're gonna remove these two fasteners. It's gonna be a 10mm socket. These are just securing the taillight in. And the fastener on the bottom is securing our fascia, so I'll take an 8mm socket and get this removed as well. There's going to be one more fastener securing our taillight in, and that's inside here. There's going to be 3 openings on your carpet here, and through this bigger opening, you'll need a light to see, but there's going to be a 10mm bolt that we'll have to remove. I put tape in the end of the socket just so this bolt doesn't fall out. And I also have a swivel adapter just to make this a little easier to get to. I got it mostly loosened all the way, and I just grabbed some needle nose so this wouldn't fall, and I grabbed it so I could pull it out. And we can pull the rear taillight out. I'm just going to pull back, and this should just slide right out. Now I'll unplug our wire harness. It's going to be a red tab. I'll push that back, push down, get that removed. Now I'll take a trim panel tool and get this Christmas tree style fitting out. We are going to be removing the fascia and fender, so I taped on all the seams so we don't chip any of the paint when we're getting this removed. Now on the fender there is going to be 3 rivets we'll have to remove, and on the bottom there's going to be 2 fasteners that I'll remove with an 8mm socket. get those removed first. Now these are rivets. Now we will have to damage them to remove them, but the kit does come with fasteners, or you could buy one that are exactly the same. I'm just gonna use a knife and I'm gonna cut these heads off. Now we can pull this fender off. And I got a trim panel tool ready. There's a series of clips in there that are securing this, so I'm just going to work it down and get these pulled out. Sometimes you can get your trim panel tool in there and push down on that tab to get this to release. Looks like that one's in, and that one came out. And this is where you can stop, because it will reveal a fastener that we can remove with a 8mm socket. Underneath there's going to be 10 fasteners we'll have to remove, and I'll use that 8mm socket as well to get these removed. Now using a 10mm socket, there's going to be some fasteners on our heat shield. There's going to be 4 of these, and I'll get these removed. Now we can take our fascia off. I'm going to start near the fender and just pull this back and get this unclipped. And then where our taillight was, I'm just going to get this out of our black pieces there. Now if this does prove to be difficult, you can get a trim panel tool and press down on that tab there to get this to release. Now I got Scott over there helping me get this removed, and there's going to be some more clips along the front here. Now there's going to be a series of plugs we'll have to remove. I have a pick tool, and it's going to be helpful to get this tab pulled out. And once that is, you can just push down on it and get this pulled out. And now we can get this fascia into a safe location. Now if you have a hard time getting these out, I did take a needle nose to get this tab pushed down. Or you can take the entire sensor out. There's 2 clips that you just pull out, and then this will pop right out. Now I'll go ahead and take this bumper beam off. I got an 18mm socket, and there's gonna be just 4 nuts. Now you're going to keep the nuts for when we put the hitch on. Now we can take this off, and we're not going to be reinstalling this. Now we will have to remove our kick sensor here. There's going to be tabs on either side. I'm just going to use some channel locks. Get both of these pushed down. And get this entire thing removed, and there's going to be a clip we'll have to take out. This is where our wire's plugged in at. I got a pick tool, and I'm going to put it under the latch, lift up on it, and that'll help get this disconnected. Now we can lift the hitch into place, put it over the studs for our bumper beam, and get our factory nuts back on. Tighten these down. And I'll torque them down to the specs and instructions as well. If you don't have a torque wrench, you can usually rent one from your local auto parts store, or you can buy one from us at eTrailer. Now our latch block will get installed with these longer bolts all the way through with a nylock nut at the end. And I'll just use a 24mm socket and wrench and get these tightened down. And we'll get these torqued down as well. Now I marked where we're going to trim the kick sensor. Just make sure that you're not going to cut into anything. It's going to be 10.5 from this edge down to here, and I'm just going to cut it right along this beveled part. I'm going to use a oscillating tool. Just get this cut. Now we have to trim the fascia, and I just have it sitting on some boxes, and I just got the center, so I measured between these two holes. On the driver's side, it's going to be 5.5, and on the passenger, it's going to be 5. And then we went 3 inches deep here. So I drew the box, and I'll get this cut out. Now I'll use a sharp knife and get all these burrs off. I'm going to clean this up a bit. Now we need to trim the heat shield, and same thing, I found the center line, and we got 5 inches on our passenger side, 5.5 on our driver, and then 1.5 inches deep. So I'll get this cut out as well. Just got some tin snips. Now with all of our components trimmed up, we can put everything back on the same way we took it off, just in reverse order. So make sure you get these all plugged in when you're putting the fascia back on. Now when putting everything back together, the rivets that we cut the heads off, we're going to replace with the push pin style that they give you in the kit. And all you have to do is push those in and get these pushed down. Now on our cube on the bottom, we can pull this rubber plug out, and your keys will be inside this right there. And you just want to make sure it's unlocked. So we'll pull the plug off the left side, and that's unlocked. So we'll get our hitch and put it in place, but before we do that, we have to turn this knob until it clicks, and then we're able to put it up into place. Just make sure you take those keys out, push that pin in, and that'll lock it in place. And that was a look at our hidden stealth hitch on our 2024 BMW X1.